What's up YouTube? It's LEGO King 71 here with my fourth castle mock update video. Last week I showed you guys the bottom two levels of the castle. In today's update I'm building the second level of the castle. Let's begin with the front side of the mock. Here you'll notice some of the cool details I added to the walls, like the gray minifigures and vines that are meant to resemble decorative stone carvings. I also decided to add arches lining the top of the wall to help break up the monotony of all the gray pieces and add some depth. Moving on to the inside of the mock, I began building this walkway that overlooks the center of the castle. Archers that are posted here can rain down arrows on any intruders that have broken through the main elevator gates. From this view, you can also see the stairs which lead from the main level to the second level and then wrap around to continue to the third level of the castle. As I mentioned in the previous video, having stairs to realistically connect every level of the castle was one of my main goals in building this mock. These time lapses show me completing the castle walkway for the third level of the castle. Here, more archers will be posted to defend the castle from invaders. In this clip, I'm finishing the castle wall around the castle inn. Moving on to the back of the castle, you can see that the corners are angled at 45 degrees, which added even more complexity to this already complex build, so I'm going to break down the technique that I used to achieve this. First, I started with these 45-degree angle modified plates at the very bottom of these corners. This was connected on one side and then just rests on flat tiles on the other side, since the 45-degree plates don't actually line up with the studs. Next, I used snot bricks and a 2x4 gray tile to hide the dark gray part of the modified plate that was showing on the outside of the wall. After that, I built up the walls, but you can see that this still left some gaps at the corners. To resolve this, I used snot bricks facing towards these gaps and then attached one stud wide plates lined with 1x2 cheese slopes. This perfectly fills the gaps and provides even more depth to the tower walls. The next time lapses show me building the walls of the castle that are facing the cargo dock. In this section of the wall, I wanted to have an opening for two reasons. One, this would be another great defensive position to guard the castle from intruders coming from the cargo dock bridge. And two, this would also allow people viewing the mock another way to see inside the center of the castle. Moving to the very back of the castle, I began by tiling the section above the elevator because I wanted this part to still be removable. You can see I left a few studs exposed so that this section will still be stable when it's attached, but it's still easy enough to remove. Then I built the floor to match the shape of the opening using various gray plates. After that was done, I began building the window bay of the great dining hall. I made this section removable like the castle inn wall so that it's easy to access and view the interior of the dining hall as well. Speaking of the interior, that was the next thing I started building. I began by building the fireplace and the dining table. Then I started building the stairs that led from the dining hall to the third floor of the castle. You'll notice in this time lapse that I built the stairs with a seam in the middle. I needed to do this in order for the section above the elevator to remain removable like I mentioned earlier. When the mock is put together, the seam is relatively unnoticeable though. In this next time lapse, I'm adding some detail to the wall facing the center of the castle. You can see I experimented with a few different options to cover the studs, but ultimately I settled with this piece, which I think looks fantastic. Finally, I finished this part of the build by completing the ceiling of the dining hall and attaching a golden chandelier to it. That's it for this week's update. In next week's update, I'm going to be building a new island, complete with a cave, a shipwreck, and a massive bridge connecting the castle to this new island. Drop a like and a comment if you're enjoying these updates, and subscribe to make sure you don't miss next week's episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.